Today on Mars Walker, we have an awesome guest, number 3 on the leaderboard, Jani. Let's get started. Hi, Jani. How you doing?
Well, hello, Aaron. I'm fine, thank you.
Hey, so where are you right now? And give me a little bit about your background. That's generally the first question we start with, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself. You've already told me all this, but let's do it for everyone that's watching, and we can get started from there.
Sure. So, I am Jani Cederlof. I am 43 years old guy from Helsinki, Finland. And I've been playing Space Nation Navigator not quite from the start, but from the mid-April, I guess. I am a maintenance man. I'm taking care at the Helsinki University of the outside areas, cleaning and stuff. Just a regular guy. But
Awesome.
I have been studying to be a gardener and to be an electrician, actually. And that's how I got to the maintenance. So on, because
Cool. And I think this is a lot about us, because our community here, because we have some people that are like really close to being, or as close as you can be maybe to like an astronaut, and like Jeremy, for example, where he's basically doing zero gravity flights regularly, which is really cool and that's fun, it's inspiring. But then there's a lot of us, maybe like yourself and me, where we just have really normal jobs.
But we are enthusiasts.
Yeah, exactly. We're space nerds that enjoy this, and I think this is a lot about what Space Nation is. Some of us have read these articles about how Space Nation is going to send one of us to, some kind of suborbital flight to space at some level, and we're getting really excited because for the first time, people like us get the opportunity to go.
It becomes available to us maybe, and I would sure like to be one of the first ones to get on it.
Exactly.
I would buy a ticket, SpaceX rocket to the ISS if I could, but that will cost something like 2 or 3 million anyway.
Yeah, minimum, right? I mean, I think I was reading that the current opportunities for going to the ISS is 20 to 50 million are the packages. So I don't think there's a lot of us that either we have 2 paths to get to space right now, and that is to be really rich, which is not easy to do, or to go through potentially somehow one of the established government entities that are out there. And it's much harder for someone that's not from, let's say, like the US, to be able to do a manned mission. But even so, even for someone like myself, I'm from the US, I have that access, but it's very difficult still to become an astronaut. I think Jeremy was mentioning this in our last interview, and I think that's really interesting, is less than 600 people that have been in space, which that's a very exclusive group. So
not even everybody who trains to be an astronaut ever gets to space.
Yeah. Years of their life. And so I think it's super exciting for people like you and I who have just normal everyday type of jobs that can be able to go to space. So I think that's super exciting. So you've mentioned this a little bit, but you started the app in mid-April. So you're on the Android app, obviously. Yeah. How did you hear about it? You just read an article? What's the story behind that?
I do regularly read the news articles from different science and space magazines and so on, and I just read an article about the application in Science magazine, and I checked it the next lunch break and joined in.
Awesome. And it's something similar to what I did. I think I saw something like from a connection on LinkedIn, and then jumped around and did that route. So why, if you had to guess, we've already touched on this a little bit, but if you had to guess why you're willing to spend so much time in the app, because let's be honest, where are you at? Are you number 3 now?
Yeah, number 3.
And to be number 3 on the list currently, this is the end of cycle 1, but to be number 3 on that list, that requires a lot of time. I know I spend hours potentially per day in the app, checking it constantly and doing missions when they come up. Why is it something for you that other than, you're dreaming and this is interesting and fun and you want to do that, but why is it something you're willing to spend so much time in the app?
Well, when I loaded the app and started it the first time, I thought it's kind of a simple games and simple questions and so on. But then I got booked on the competition over there. Ravi Sharma, who is not on the list anymore, was then like trying to get the leader. He was number 2, and on the weekly basis, I started to compete against him, and so that's what started the competition. Then Ivan got in, and I was competing with Ivan pretty hard actually. and, well, then Daniel Rotko came in, and he was competing with Ivan. I was trying to keep in pace, but I couldn't, so I just let them go, and now they have 300,000 points over there.
Crazy amounts of points.
It's the competition point, and I'm pretty sure that I want to go to the Iceland at least.
Yeah, and I think that's something to.
I have been trying to check their posts and everything, and I'm pretty sure they are going to do all this stuff. So I just want to be in.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. Bring up a couple of really good points. One is that if any of us have communicated with Space Nation, which I have, you have, anyone out there who's listening, you guys, if you've communicated with people from Space Nation like Kali,
Yes.
they feel like very trustworthy people. So that is a question that would come up, like, what's the chance this will actually happen? Because it's very famous. People say we're going to Mars by 2022 or 2024, whatever, and it just like always gets pushed back. How can you believe these people?
I believe they are trying to achieve that. I do believe that they really mean it when they say that they are going to. Can they in the end? We don't know, but we have our hopes up, and that's enough at the moment for the game and for the app.
Yeah, and I think that describes a lot of people that are in the top 100 currently, or in the top 10. These are people that we believe, alongside of the founders and the people that are at Space Nation that are trying to make this happen. We believe that it can happen and will happen, and they're going to try their best to make it happen. So
I believe.
So there is that aspect, and I think the other aspect you touched on, which is really interesting, is the competition. I started off because of the interest in winning, and then the competition may have kept me there. And now something that's keeping me here longer, I think, is the community, the collaboration. We have a Telegram group, so I want people that are in Space Nation to join our Telegram group. So I'm not worried about hiding that. Users of the Space Nation app, and we talk and we interact, and there's something that binds us all together about us space nerds together, especially space nerds that aren't already scientists, let's say, right? We're everyday space nerds, and so there's something about that community that's growing up, and it's really kind of infectious, and we just want to stay and keep competing. We talk about Space Nation, the Navigator app, and other stuff all day long. Tell me a little bit about that from your perspective, the idea of the community. I'd love to hear how you interact with the community and why you do and that kind of stuff.
Well, as I said, I'm not very outgoing guy, but I don't know. The community is something that I think it's very much a part of this game. And as I already told you, I've been contacting the Space Nation also to add some social things to this game. But I don't know, and I think it's really cool and very necessary thing that you are doing at the moment with your YouTube channel, telling about this, and you're trying to gather us and making the interviews and all.
I think you're right, and it's funny that you mentioned that you're not necessarily a very outgoing or the stereotypical community person that's like always talking and maybe an extrovert, because potentially a lot of people that are interested in sciences and space stuff, that could be a lot of us that aren't super extroverted, and that is a really cool place for us to have opportunity to socialize and be together. Even if we're not necessarily those types of people that are going to be on Twitter all day long or whatever, right? And so that's what I think is really cool. And I think you bring up that's just a great point. Like, it's an open space for people. where we can all kind of identify around something that's common and unites us. It's added to my life. I feel like it's really cool to have, a group of friends that are united around this really weird concept, which if you tell, like, let's say your normal friends now, if you told them that you were spending hours a day in the Space Nation Navigator app, how would they react?
Well, they ask about what kind of app is it and show me, and they are not interested, and they think it's weird that I'm not playing some other games with them, or I'm not going out maybe because I'm in a heat competition against Jani just a couple of days ago, and
Yeah,
stuff
it's. I mean, that's interesting, right? Like, it's kind of hard to explain why you're doing this or why we're spending so much time in this app to a lot of people, and so it's really cool to have that community where we can talk about weird, nerdy things about like learning space-related stuff. I love that.
Yeah, I don't even think it's nerdy actually,
But I don't think of myself as nerdy. But let's be honest. If someone else is listening from an outside perspective, they're like, "Wow, these guys are kind of weird and nerdy."
Maybe.
So let's switch a little bit more to the actual app, because there's a lot of people out there that play the app, and I would like to know something about what missions that you feel like are your favorite and why they're your favorite.
There's one game that I play even if I get no points ever, and that used to be the paper plane. Because I was trying to just go over my best all the time. 282 meters was my best. That wasn't enough. I'm aiming to get over 300. Now they changed it so that you can just fly 150 meters. I'm still trying to get over 300 meters.
But I mean, of the people that I've heard, 280 is the by far the largest. I would love to hear if other people have made it further than that. But 280 meters it's hard to do. It's so easy, even if you've done it for hours and hours and hours. It's still easy just to get like 50 because it's sometimes very unpredictable.
Yeah, I do that.
Just like it falls at 50. Come on! I just got 150. 2 tries ago. And then
the trick is to get the first plane into 100 meters under those 4 downdrafts. You get it under there, so you have 1 extra fire over there to give you boost.
Oh wow! So see, you've got the whole thing mapped out. If anyone has a question about how to get further in paper plane, Jani's the guy to ask. So just bug him.
You just select the strategic points, what is hardest, where you lose most of the speed, and you drop your first plane over there on purpose. And then you just take another one and use that for the lift and get the next point where you are about to drop, and you just drop on purpose the plane over there, so you have something to boost the circuit.
So the other side of the coin here is there's your favorite mission, and then what is your least favorite mission? Something that you just try to avoid all the time.
Flame out. I just hate it. My memory isn't that good.
I used to hate that too.
Then that habitat survival thing where you have to run these guys to fix the problems on the Wayfarer.
Okay, so generally, I do like to end off by just giving you the floor. If there's something you want to share, advice you want to give, comment you want to make.
I'm much better at answering some questions and giving some ideas than actually commenting anything myself.
Well, you can ask a question to me too, if that's what you'd rather do.
Well, I would like to ask, and would you repeat again, what was actually the idea why you decided to put up this Mars Walker channel and all this?
Whenever I get into a game that I want to compete in, or not compete, but do well in, I will do like a Google search for, okay, I can't beat this, or there's some question that I have and I can't get over it. And every time I asked a question, whatever question I had, and put it into Google, nothing was coming up. Something that wasn't just Space Nation, coming from Space Nation themselves. And so I was like, someone needs to do this. Someone probably will do it eventually. And why not me? So I might as well just put that up there. And I knew it would be relatively, I have a full-time job and I do that. So it's not like I have a bunch of extra time to kill. I'm not looking at this as a business. I'm looking at it more of, this is kind of a fun thing to do. And so it is something that I could do because I have a little bit of photo editing experience, people that are actual good video editors, I should say, video editing experience. People that are good at video editing will notice that mine is absolute crap. But I know enough to actually do it, and I have some of the programs on my computer that can do it. So I figured, why not me? I'll put it up, and these are things that will probably last for a while. And it's a few minutes here, a few minutes there for these videos, the interviews. This is all personal. Like, I really enjoy meeting, virtually meeting people and talking. And it's like, I saw all these guys' names. I saw Ivan, I saw your name, I saw Danny, and I was like, who are these people? You compete against them, and we just don't really have a face to put on them, or we don't have a personality attached to maybe a face who's on social media, and I just wanted to see how that worked. And it was something that I thought was interesting, and I do think it adds to the community aspect, and having a community is fun.
I think it tells quite a bit about you and your personality, and that you started this, and it's nice to know.
I think that I've always been more interested in teamwork. I am a competitor, but my background from competition has always been team sports. So I played, any sort of team sport you can think of growing up: basketball, football, soccer. Growing up, and so I love the competition, but I always love it better when there's a team aspect to it. I'm not the type of person that does individual competitions very much.
About the team aspect for the game, I think it would be nice if there would be some way that we could support each other in advancing in this game, that it would be some kind of thing over there.
Yeah, and I think they are interested in trying to identify a way of creating teams or crews, where you work together to accomplish something for the team rather than just individuals competing against each other. And I know Space Nation, the guys over there, are really interested in hearing ideas from us. So we got to think about ideas. If anyone out there has an idea for creating teamwork and collaboration without directly just needing, one person to compete against another, we'd love to hear it, because that'd be really cool. Well, I think we have a lot to think about, but I really appreciate the time you've taken to talk to me, because this was a lot of fun. I'll let you get back to your, Monday, whatever you do on Monday afternoon.
Well, I'll do a couple of missions next.
Okay, awesome. I'll let you get back to doing some missions.
Okay, but it was really nice to talk to you, and let's talk again.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I enjoyed conducting it. If you did, you can go ahead and hit the like button below the video, share with friends, family, whoever you think might enjoy it, and subscribe by hitting the red button. And if you're on Twitter, you can find me at Aaron T. Burnett. Also search Mars Walker. I use this account to share tips about things like weekly adventure, which really can't have a full video devoted to them. Until next time, keep ranking up your points, and I will see you guys at Space Camp.